Welcome back to Chapter 9, Part 2, where we're going to work with some 3D formulas and some 3D function references. Now, the difference between a formula and a function. Formulas equals one cell plus another, or one cell minus another, however you want to put that together. A function is predetermined steps. For example, a sum function or a VLOOKUP. That's a function. And that's where we get our function argument dialog box. Okay, let's go ahead and jump over to our yearly total worksheet, and let's start with our first formula. I'm going to click in B3, and I'm going to reference my quarter one worksheet. And I'm going to do that by saying equals, and then I'm going to come down to the quarter one sheet tab, click on E3, because that is where my reference is, Control Enter. Now you can also click the little check mark up here in the formula box. That is also a Control Enter. Let's take a look at our formula bar. It says equals apostrophe quarter one apostrophe exclamation point. That means it's coming from the quarter one worksheet, and it's referencing E3. Now, being that E3 is a relative cell reference, no dollar signs, I can just grab the little fill handle, double click, sending it down the column. The hashtags here or the pound signs, all that means is our column is too narrow to display everything that's in that column. I can click right here, double click, auto fit my column. So let's click in C3, do the same thing. I'm going to go equals. This time I'm going to go to my quarter two, click in E3, Control Enter. I'm going to repeat that step again for quarter three, equals quarter three worksheet, E3. This time I'll go ahead and click that little check mark, show you it works just the same. Quarter four. Now all we're doing is we're referencing the quarter four worksheet in E3, Control Enter. I'm going to highlight all three columns at the same time, double click, sending everything down, and I'll auto fit. Yeah, I thought I was going to auto fit. I'll auto fit my column width. Okay, so that's using a formula. Now, let's use a function. So right here in F3, I'm going to use the sum function. So I'll go sum, tab. What do I want? So I want quarter one worksheet, and I'm going to hold my shift key because I want to select all four quarters. So it'll group everything together. So shift, click the first one, and hold the shift key, click quarter four, let go of the shift key. Select E3, Control Enter. This time, when I look at my formula bar, I can see it says sum, quarter one through quarter four, the entire range, and it's E3 for each and every one. Again, it's relative, so I can send it down. Let's select the top row. I'm going to hold my control key, select the bottom row, give that a counting format. Everything in between, I'll give that the comma formatting. It's the same thing as the accounting except for no dollar signs. With this still selected, I'll come over here to format, and let's give it a column width of 15. We'll make everything 15, and I should be able to see all my information there. Click in A1, that's just where I'm going to park my sheet. Now, let's bring all of our sheets together on the consolidated sheet. So I'll go over to the consolidated sheet. Now, the first time I did this, there was an error in my sheet, and I don't know where it was, and it wasn't bringing all of the sheets over. Now, if that happens to you, here's a quick remedy. Highlight the entire sheet, and I did that by clicking between the 1 and the A, just this little triangle up here. It selected the entire sheet. On my Home tab, I'm going to come over to Clear, and I'll say Clear All. Now, that clears everything in my sheet. I'll go ahead and click in A1. Now, I'm ready to consolidate my data. So I'll go to my data sheet, click on Consolidate. What do I want to consolidate? Well, I want to select this little arrow here, and I'm going to reference quarter one, A2 through E10, that entire range. And I can click that again. Now, notice, I'm going to move this down. Notice that across the top row, I have labels. Across the left column, I have labels. So that's kind of important. We'll need to know those informations, or that bit of information here in a minute. Okay, so I have my reference selected. I'm going to go add. Now I'm going to do that again for my quarter two sheet. So I'll go quarter two, and look, my information is already highlighted. I'll highlight it again and say add. But being that it's highlighted, I should be able to just click on 3. So I see quarter three. My range is still the same. I go add. And if I click on the quarter four worksheet, I should be able to say add. Now, make sure you go, my labels are in the top row and in the left column. Click OK. And I can see I brought in every single month and the department total. Let's go ahead and auto fit our column here. So I'm going to come over here to format, autofit column width, and I probably want to do a little bit of formatting. So let's select our labels across the top. So B1 looks like through N1. Let's make it bold and we'll center that information. Looks like our dollar amounts are formatted correctly. So let's put the bottom row here as a total style. I like it. I'll click in A1. Let's go ahead and save that sheet. Now let's link to another workbook. To do that, I will open up my File Explorer, so you can do Control E or go down to your taskbar and click on the little file folder icon. And if you're still in the same area, so I'm still in my chapter 9, double click on my chapter 2, opens it up, and I can see my Nebraska column right here is blank. So I want to reference that information from the sheet that I was just working on. So I'll go ahead and click equals, click on the view tab so I can see what files I have. We're going to switch windows. I have the data 2, that's my active workbook, and I want to go to the Parker workbook. Click on the yearly totals. So I want the department totals here. So I'm going to click in F3, Control Enter. Takes me back to the worksheet. Now, this time when we look at our formula bar, notice it says equals, apostrophe, open bracket, chapter 9 underscore Parker, XLSX, close the bracket. That's saying it's coming from a workbook. Then it says yearly totals, exclamation. That means it's coming from the yearly total sheet, and it's coming from the cell reference F3. Notice it's absolute cell reference. So I'm going to click in the F3 and I'm going to toggle that to a relative cell reference by going F4 1, 2, 3 times. It is now a relative cell reference. Control Enter. Now, if I were to send this down and say fill without formatting, I don't have that option on my version of Excel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click, drag it down and say fill without formatting. Yeah, I'm going to match this. It looks like it did pretty good except for this one here. On mine, it didn't work. So I'm going to go format painter and I'll just paint this in. So now it matches. Okay, what we need to do now is we need to make a PDF of this document. And remember, we need to have our footer inside. So let's do that. I'm going to go over to the page layout, launch the page layout. In page, I want this to fit to one page. So I'm scaling my sheet. I'll say fit to one page. Margins, I could center it horizontally, but I don't need to. Header, footer, I'm going to put a custom footer in. The first section, I will put in my name. The center section, the sheet name. The last section, the file name. Click OK. Now, this one, when I do a print preview, that looks okay, but I'm going to change my layout. Orientation, I want landscape. Now, let's do a print preview. Yeah, that looks better. I like it better. It says chapter 9 underscore data 2. Leave that. That's fine because we already have our main file, how we want to save it. Now, let's make a PDF. So file, export, create a PDF, XPS. I only have one sheet here, but I'm just, because I like to stay in habit, I'm going to say entire workbook. Okay, publish. I have my footers. My sheet looks good. I don't have any orphan columns. Perfect. I'll leave that the way it is. Now, this one I can close. Yes, I'll go ahead and save it. Now, let's do the same thing here. Remember, group your sheet. So I'm going to right click on the first one, say select all sheets. Everything's grouped. I'm going to come up here to the page layout. I'll launch my setup. Fit to one page. Yes, I want it fit to one page. I want it landscaped. Margins, it doesn't matter there. Header, footer, custom footer. First section, I'll put my name. Middle, sheet name. Last section, file name. Click OK, and let's do a print preview. It's in landscape. I like it. I have 6 sheets. Let's make sure that they all look good. Consolidate, a little long. It's still good. I don't have that future sheet in there because it's hidden, but it's still in my file. Let's go to export. Create a PDF, XPS, leave the file name the same, options, make sure I select the entire workbook, click OK, and publish. Again, I just do a quick preview of my work. Everything is in place. Close that file. I can close this file, and then we're going to open up the third one. So data 3, but I'll see you on the next video for that one.